The alarm screamed through the control room at 3 in the morning. Captain Hana jumped from her chair, her coffee spilling across the floor. She had been monitoring deep space signals for 5 years, and nothing like this had ever happened before. The screen in front of her flashed red, showing a transmission coming from somewhere beyond the known galaxy. Her fingers moved fast across the controls. The message was breaking up, full of static and strange sounds, but some words came through clearly. Help, please. Dying. She recorded everything and sent it straight to Earth Command. Within 2 hours, Commander Jin arrived at the facility. He was a tall man with tired eyes and gray hair at his temples. He had spent 20 years in the military before taking this job. Now he led the First Contact Division, a team that prepared for the day when Earth would meet aliens. That day had finally come. Play it again, Jin said, standing behind Hana's chair. The message filled the room. The voice was soft and musical, nothing like a human voice. It spoke in a language they had never heard, but the computer had been working to translate it. The words appeared on the screen as the voice spoke. We are the Veltharan people. Our worlds are under attack. The Krell Dominion destroys everything. We have sent messages to all our allies, but no one can help us. We are not fighters. We do not know war. Our weapons are useless. Our people are dying. We have broken our own laws to send this message. We contact the Forbidden World. We contact Earth. Please, if you receive this, if you care about life in this universe, help us. The message ended. The room fell silent. Jin stared at the screen. They called us forbidden. Hana nodded. The transmission included data files, information about their species and why they fear us. She pulled up the files. According to their records, Earth is classified as a Class 12 death world. The highest danger rating in their system. Death world. A planet so hostile that life should not exist there. But we do exist, and that terrifies them. Hana read from the screen. Gravity twice the galactic standard. Atmosphere containing poisonous oxygen at dangerous levels. Extreme temperature variations. Violent weather systems. Large predators. Venomous creatures. Aggressive bacterial and viral life. Tectonic activity. They list Earth as more dangerous than 98% of all known planets. Jin almost laughed. They think oxygen is poisonous? To them it is. Most galactic species breathe different gases. Pure oxygen would burn their lungs. Hana pulled up more files. Their worlds have gentle climates. Low gravity. Calm weather. No large predators. They evolved in peace. And now someone is killing them. The Krell Dominion, another species but more aggressive. Still nothing compared to Earth, but enough to overwhelm the Veltharan. Hana looked up at Jin. Sir, they are desperate. They contacted us knowing we might be worse than the enemy they already face. Jin walked to the window. Outside, the sun was rising over the mountains. Earth. Beautiful, deadly Earth. He had climbed those mountains. He had survived storms, heat, cold, injuries that would kill softer creatures. Every human had. They did not think of themselves as special. This was just life. But to aliens living on gentle worlds, humans were monsters. Send a reply, Jin said finally. Tell them we are coming. The next day, Jin assembled his team in the briefing room. 4 people sat around the table, the best Earth had to offer. Pilot Yuna was 28 years old and had never lost a simulation battle. She could fly anything with engines. Her reflexes were so fast that other pilots called her inhuman. She grinned when Jin explained the mission. Tactical Officer Wu was 43 and had spent 20 years in Special Forces. He had fought in every environment Earth could produce. Jungles, deserts, mountains, oceans. He had survived them all. His face showed no emotion as he listened. Medical specialist Rena was 35 and had worked in war zones across Earth. She had saved hundreds of lives in impossible conditions. She carried scars from a building collapse that had killed everyone else on her team. She had walked out after being buried for 6 hours. Ambassador Tay was 51 and had negotiated peace treaties between Earth nations that hated each other. He was calm and patient. He would speak for humanity to these aliens. This is a first contact scenario, Jin told them, but not the kind we planned for. We are not meeting them as friends wanting to talk. We are meeting them as soldiers coming to fight their war. What do we know about the enemy? Wu asked. Jin displayed images on the screen. The Krell looked like insects, but larger with armored bodies and multiple limbs. They are warriors by culture. Their world is harsher than the Veltharan worlds, but still easier than Earth. They fight for territory and resources. They have been attacking Velthar in space for 6 months. Why? Tay asked. Because they can. The Veltharan have no real defenses. Their weapons are designed to disable, not destroy. They cannot imagine killing. It goes against everything they believe. Yuna studied the images. What about their ships? Krell ships are built for numbers. They overwhelm enemies with quantity, not quality. Veltharan ships are science vessels with basic shields. Jin pulled up more data. Our ship, the Indomitable, is a battle cruiser. It has more firepower than 50 Krell vessels combined, but we will face hundreds of them. Then we fight smart, Wu said. We also need to remember who we are protecting, Tay added. These people are afraid of us. We need to show them we are not the monsters they fear. Rena spoke quietly. They asked for help knowing what we are. That takes courage, Jin nodded. We leave in 12 hours. Pack for extended deployment. This war will not end quickly. The team stood to leave, but Yuna stayed behind. Sir, do you think we can win? Jin looked at the young pilot. The Krell evolved on a medium difficulty world. They think they are tough. They think they are warriors. He smiled, and it was not a kind smile. They have never met anyone from a Class 12 Deathworld. They have never met humans. Yes, Yuna, we will win. The Indomitable launched at dawn. It was the largest ship Earth had ever built, designed for exploration and defense. Now it would travel faster than light to a distant star system and enter a war. Inside, the crew prepared. 500 humans, all volunteers, all knowing they might never return. They checked weapons, ran simulations, studied alien cultures. They were scared, but they did not show it. Fear was something humans learned to carry. Commander Jin stood on the bridge as the ship jumped to faster-than-light speed. Stars stretched into lines. Earth disappeared behind them. Somewhere ahead, aliens were dying, calling for help, hoping the monsters from the Forbidden World would save them instead of destroying them. Jin thought about that irony. Humans, the most dangerous species in the galaxy, coming to rescue the most peaceful. Maybe that was exactly right. Maybe monsters were only monsters if they chose to be. Maybe strength meant nothing if you did not use it to protect the weak. The Indomitable raced through the dark, carrying Earth's answer to that cry for help. They were coming. The Indomitable dropped out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the Veltharan system. What they saw made the entire crew fall silent. 3 orbital stations were burning. Debris floated everywhere, pieces of ships and structures spinning slowly in the darkness. Small vessels fled toward the outer planets, desperate to escape, and surrounding everything like a dark cloud were the Krell ships, hundreds of them. Battle stations, Commander Jin ordered. The alarm sounded through the ship. 500 humans moved to their positions, fast and efficient. Captain Hana studied the tactical display. Sir, I count 347 Krell vessels. Most are frigates and destroyers. 20 are cruiser class, and the Veltharan? 53 ships remaining. All are damaged. They are trying to evacuate civilians from the planet's surface. Hana looked at Jin. Sir, they are losing badly. Jin nodded. Ambassador Tay, open a channel to the Krell fleet. Let us try diplomacy first. Tay stepped forward and activated the communication system. The screen flickered and an alien face appeared. The Krell commander looked exactly like the images they had studied. Insect-like with compound eyes and clicking mandibles. Armor covered its body. I am Ambassador Tay of Earth. We have come to assist the Veltharan people. Withdraw your forces and we can negotiate peace. The Krell commander made a sound like clicking and hissing. The computer translated. Earth, the myth world? The death world that does not exist? The Krell laughed, a horrible sound. You send one ship against our fleet. You are fools. We will add your wreckage to the Veltharan debris. The screen went dark. Jin sighed. We tried. He turned to the tactical station. Wu, analyze their formation. Tactical Officer Wu had been studying the Krell fleet since they arrived. They fight in swarms, sir. No real strategy. They rely on overwhelming numbers. Their weapons are projectile-based, relatively slow. Their ships have weak armor but strong shields. Weaknesses? They bunch together. One explosion could damage multiple ships. And their reaction time is slow, about 3 times slower than human average. Jin smiled. Yuna, prepare your squadron. Pilot Yuna was already in her flight suit. Yes, sir. How many fighters do you want deployed? 6. The bridge fell silent. Everyone stared at Jin. Sir, Hana said carefully, they have 300 ships. And we have 6 pilots from a Class 12 Deathworld. That is more than enough. Jin looked at Yuna. Show them what humans can do. Yuna grinned and ran to the hangar bay. Minutes later, 6 small fighters launched from the Indomitable. They looked tiny compared to the massive Krell fleet. The enemy ships immediately changed course, 40 vessels breaking off to intercept. In the lead fighter, Yuna checked her systems. Everything was green. Her heart beat fast, but her hands were steady. This was what she trained for. Behind her, 5 other pilots flew in tight formation. All fighters, this is Yuna. Remember, they are not used to our speed.
Use it, stay alive.
Make every shot count. The Krell ships opened fire. Thousands of projectiles filled space, creating a wall of metal. Yuna punched the throttle and dove straight into it. Her fighter twisted and rolled, moving faster than the Krell could track. Projectiles passed so close she could see them on her screens, but none hit. Her body felt heavy as the G-forces pushed her into her seat. She ignored it. Humans trained in Earth's gravity all their lives. This was nothing. She locked onto a Krell frigate and fired. Her weapons were energy-based, faster than projectiles. The beam cut through the Krell shields like they were not there. The frigate exploded. 1 down, she reported, already moving to the next target. Behind her, the other 5 pilots were doing the same. They moved like dancers, impossible to predict, impossible to hit. The Krell fired thousands of shots. None connected. In 2 minutes, 10 Krell ships were destroyed. The Krell commander watched in disbelief. What are they? How do they move like that? His tactical officer had no answer. Sir, our weapons cannot track them. They are too fast. Their reaction time is... It should not be possible. Send more ships. Send 100. Overwhelm them. But numbers meant nothing against speed. The human fighters split up, each one leading groups of Krell ships on chases they could not win. The Krell crashed into each other, trying to follow the impossible movements. Some fired on their own ships by accident. Yuna laughed as she flew. This was easy, too easy. She felt almost guilty. These Krell were warriors, but they had never faced anything like humans. They were slow, clumsy, predictable. She lined up 3 Krell destroyers and fired a missile. It weaved between them, and all 3 exploded together. 13, 14, 15, she counted. After 20 minutes, 40 Krell ships were destroyed or disabled. The human fighters had not even been hit once. Yuna ordered her squadron back to the Indomitable to refuel and rearm. The Krell fleet pulled back, confused and scared. On the bridge of the Indomitable, Jin watched the tactical display. Excellent work. Now let us make contact with the Veltherin. Hana, open a channel to their flagship. The screen activated. A Veltherin appeared, and the crew saw an alien for the first time. The creature was beautiful in a strange way. It had smooth skin that changed colors slightly, like oil on water. Large eyes that seemed to see everything. A gentle face with no aggression in it. It looked delicate, like it might break if touched too hard. The Veltherin was crying. You came, it said, voice musical and soft. You actually came? We thought you would refuse, or that you would be like the Krell. But you saved us. You saved my people. Ambassador Tay stepped forward. I am Ambassador Tay. We received your message. We are here to help. The Veltherin nodded, still crying. I am Counselor Preeth. I speak for my people. We are grateful, but we are also afraid. We have seen you fight. We have seen what you can do. The violence, the death, the ease with which you destroy. We know what you are. We know Earth is a death world. We know humans are dangerous, Tay spoke gently. We are dangerous when we need to be. But we did not come here to hurt you. We came to protect you. How can we trust that? How do we know you will not turn on us when the Krell are gone? It was a fair question. Tay thought carefully about his answer. Because we understand fear. We know what it is like to face something stronger than you. Earth tried to kill us every day for millions of years. We survived, but we also learned to protect each other. Humans are dangerous, yes, but we are also loyal. We are also kind. We choose to be both. Preeth stared at him through the screen. You choose? Every day, Tay said. We choose to use our strength to help instead of harm. We choose to stand between danger and those who cannot fight. That is what makes us human. Not the violence. The choice. Preeth was quiet for a long moment. Then it nodded slowly. Then we welcome you, humans of Earth. Please dock with our flagship. We have much to discuss. The channel closed. Jin turned to his crew. That went better than expected. Hana shook her head. Sir, did you see how scared it was? It was terrified of us even while thanking us. Yes, Jin said quietly. That will be the hardest part of this mission. Not fighting the Krell, making the Veltherin understand we are here to help, not conquer. Wu spoke from his station. Sir, the Krell fleet is regrouping. They will attack again soon, and next time they will be ready for our fighters. Then we need to be ready too. Prepare the Indomitable for full combat, and get our people ready to board the Veltherin flagship. We need to see these people up close. Understand them. The Indomitable moved slowly toward the Veltherin flagship. Behind them, the Krell fleet watched and plotted. Ahead, the Veltherin waited, caught between hope and terror. This was first contact. Not a meeting of curious explorers, but a meeting of the hunted and the hunter. The question was, which role would humanity play? Jin knew the answer. But he also knew it would take time for the Veltherin to believe it. They had answered the cry for help. Now they needed to prove they were heroes, not monsters. The real work was just beginning. The docking port connected with a soft thud. Commander Jin stood at the airlock with Ambassador Tay, medical specialist Rena, and tactical officer Wu. They wore light armor, but no weapons. Jin wanted to appear as friendly as possible. Remember, Jin said quietly, these people are fragile. Move slowly. Speak softly. Do not touch anything unless invited. The airlock opened. The air that flowed in was cool and thin. The gravity was wrong, too light. Jin felt like he might float away with each step. Everything about this place was designed for creatures much weaker than humans. A group of Veltherin waited on the other side. They stood far back, keeping distance. Jin counted 8 of them. All looked nervous. One stepped forward, its skin shifting from blue to purple. I am Counselor Prayeth. Welcome to the Harmony's dream. Its voice was so soft Jin had to focus to hear it. Tay stepped forward slowly. Thank you for allowing us aboard. I am Ambassador Tay. This is Commander Jin, our military leader, medical specialist Rena, and tactical officer Wu. Preeth looked at each human. Its large eyes were wide, showing fear. You are so tall, and so heavy. I can hear your footsteps through the floor. Each step sounds like thunder to us. Jin realized he was standing at his normal posture. He carefully lowered himself into a slight crouch. My apologies. We will try to move more quietly. Your voices, another Veltarin said. So deep, so loud. Like growling. Tay spoke as softly as he could. We will whisper if that helps. Preeth nodded. Please follow me. Move slowly. The gravity here is 0.4 g, standard for most galactic species. I know it must feel strange to you. They walked through the ship. Everything was different from human designs. The corridors were wider and shorter. The lights were dim. The air smelled of flowers, but strange ones. Jin saw Veltherin workers stop and stare as they passed. Some fled into side rooms. They are afraid, Preeth said. Please understand. We have never seen Deathworlders before. Your strength is visible in how you move. Even in low gravity, even trying to be gentle, you move like predators. We evolved as prey animals. Our instincts scream danger when we see you. Rena spoke gently. What can we do to make you feel safer? Preeth seemed surprised by the question. You care about our comfort? Of course. We came to help, not to frighten. They reached a medical bay. Veltherin wounded lay on beds, being treated by medical staff. Rena stopped at the door, taking in the scene. The equipment was strange, but she could recognize the basics. Monitors, medicine dispensers, surgical tools. May I enter? She asked Preeth. You are a healer? I am. I would like to help if I can. Preeth hesitated, then nodded. Rena walked in slowly. The Veltherin medical staff froze. One dropped an instrument, which floated slowly to the floor in the low gravity. Rena bent down carefully and picked it up. She moved in slow motion, trying not to scare them. She held out the instrument to the Veltherin doctor. I am Rena. I am a medical specialist. Can I assist you? The Veltherin doctor stared at her. It was small, barely reaching Rena's chest. Its hands shook as it took the instrument back. You are a warrior, it said. I can see scars on your arms. But you are also a healer? On Earth, healers often go to war. Someone must care for the wounded. Rena looked at the patients. How can I help? The Veltherin doctor, who introduced itself as Solith, showed Rena a patient. This one has internal injuries from an explosion. We have stopped the bleeding, but the damage is severe. We can keep him alive, but the pain is terrible. Our pain medication is very weak. We cannot use stronger doses. Our bodies cannot handle it. Rena examined the patient. The injuries were bad, but survivable with proper treatment. The patient's face showed agony. On Earth, we have stronger pain medication, but it would be dangerous for your species. Rena thought for a moment. However, I can adjust the dose. Very small amounts might work. You would share your medicine? Of course. Rena returned to the Indomitable and came back with her medical kit. She worked with Soleth for the next hour, carefully testing medications at extremely low doses. The Veltharan watched in amazement as Rena worked nonstop, her hands steady and sure. Do you not need rest? Soleth asked. I slept 6 hours last night. I can work for another 12 hours before I need rest again. 12 hours? Without stopping? Soleth looked shocked. We need rest every 4 hours, and we must sleep 10 hours each night. Humans evolved to work long hours. We are endurance predators. We can keep going when others must stop. Rena smiled at the alien doctor. But right now that means I can help more of your people. Meanwhile, on another part of the ship, Wu was meeting with Veltharan security forces. 12 Veltharans stood in a training room, wearing what passed for armor among their people. It looked more like padded clothing than real protection. Wu studied them carefully. They held weapons, but loosely, like the weapons might bite them. Have any of you fired your weapons in combat? Wu asked. No one answered. Finally, one Veltharan spoke. We have fired them in training. But to fire at another living being? No, we cannot. It is against our nature. But the Krell are killing your people. Yes, and we try to run. We try to hide. But we cannot bring ourselves to kill. The Veltharan's skin turned gray, showing shame. You must think we are cowards. Wu shook his head. No, you are peaceful. That is not the same as cowardice. You simply do not have what Earth gave humans. The ability to kill when necessary. Can you teach us? Wu was quiet. He looked at these gentle beings and tried to imagine them as soldiers. It seemed wrong, like trying to turn a flower into a knife. I can teach you to defend yourselves, basic tactics, how to use cover, how to retreat safely. But teaching you to kill? That would change who you are. It would break something in you. I do not think you want that. The Veltharan looked relieved. Then teach us to survive. That is enough. For the next several hours, Wu ran them through basic defensive drills. Even that was hard for them. The concept of hiding and running went against their social instincts. They wanted to stay together to help each other. Wu had to teach them that sometimes helping meant surviving to fight another day. He was patient, more patient than he had ever been. These were not soldiers. They would never be soldiers. But maybe they could learn to survive. Ambassador Tay spent his time with the Veltharan Council. 7 members sat in a circular room. They asked questions about Earth and humanity. Your world tried to kill you? One asked. Every day. Storms, floods, droughts, earthquakes, volcanoes, diseases, predators. Earth is a world of constant danger. And this made you strong? It made us survivors. We learned to adapt, to endure. To keep going when everything said to give up, Tay paused. But it also made us protective. We learned to work together. To help each other. Because alone we would die. Together we could survive, Preeth spoke. The galaxy has been peaceful for so long. Most species evolved on gentle worlds. We have not known war. We have not known real violence. The Krell are unusual. They are more aggressive than most species. But compared to you, even they are peaceful. Do you regret asking for our help? Tay asked. No, but we are afraid of what comes next. If you drive away the Krell, what then? Do you leave? Do you stay? Do you become our protectors? Our rulers? Pryth's skin flashed red. We do not want to trade one enemy for another. We do not want to rule you. We want to help and then go home. But can you? Can you leave knowing we are defenseless? Can you abandon us if another threat comes? It was the question Tay had been avoiding. The truth was complicated. If Earth helped the Veltharan and then left and the Veltharan were attacked again, humanity would feel responsible. They would come back, and then leave again, and come back again. It would never end, I think, Tay said slowly. That we need to find a new way forward, one where we help you become stronger without losing who you are, where we protect you without controlling you. I do not have all the answers yet, but we will find them together. Preeth nodded. That is all we can ask. Commander Jin stood in the observation deck looking out at space. The Krell fleet was still out there waiting. This peaceful moment would not last. Rena joined him, looking tired but satisfied. I helped 32 patients today. Soleth is a good doctor, gentle and careful, and you? I am learning to be gentler. These people remind me what we are fighting for, not just survival, but the chance to be kind, Jin smiled. Earth made us hard, but we do not have to stay that way. Outside, the stars shone. Two species stood together learning from each other. The dangerous and the gentle, the strong and the kind, and somewhere in the dark, the enemy prepared to attack again. The alarms woke everyone at once. Captain Hana was on the bridge in 30 seconds, still pulling on her uniform. The tactical display showed red across every screen. "Report," she ordered. The tactical officer looked pale. "Captain, the Krell fleet is moving. All of it, 300 ships, incoming fast. They will reach us in 10 minutes. Where is Commander Jin?" "On his way." Jin arrived moments later, fully dressed and alert. He had learned long ago to wake up fast. "What do we know?" Hana pulled up the data. "They have studied our tactics from the last battle. They are coming in a new formation, spread out instead of clustered. They are faster now, more organized. They learned from their mistakes." "Good," Jin said. "That means they are taking us seriously." "Wu analysis?" Tactical Officer Wu studied the screen. "They are trying to prevent our fighters from using the same hit-and-run tactics. The spread formation means we cannot destroy multiple ships with single strikes. They are also advancing slowly, staying in formation. Disciplined. What about the Indomitable? Can we handle 300 ships? In a straight fight? No. We have superior weapons and shields, but 300 ships firing together will overwhelm us eventually." Wu highlighted several points on the map. "However, the battlefield favors us. This area has debris from previous battles. Destroyed ships, station fragments, asteroids. We can use the environment," Jin nodded. "Then we do not fight straight. We fight smart. Hana, move the Indomitable into the debris field. Make us hard to hit. Sir, the debris could damage our ship. It will damage the Krell ships more. They are not used to this kind of combat. We are." Jin opened a channel to the Veltheran flagship. "Counselor Preeth, move all your ships away from the battle zone. Get your people to safety." Preeth appeared on screen, its skin pale with fear. "You are going to fight all of them?" "Alone? Not alone. We have 500 humans and one very capable ship. That is more than enough," Jin smiled. "Trust us." The Veltharan ships began retreating. The Indomitable moved forward into the debris field, a massive battlecruiser dancing between chunks of broken metal and rock. "Launch all fighters," Jin ordered. "Yuna, you have tactical command of the squadron." In the hangar bay, pilot Yuna and 23 other pilots ran to their fighters. This time they were launching every combat-capable fighter on the ship. 24 fighters against 300 enemy ships. Yuna climbed into her cockpit and ran through the startup sequence. Her hands moved automatically, muscle memory from thousands of hours of training. The fighter came alive around her, responding to her touch like it was part of her body. "All fighters, this is Yuna." The Krell learned from last time. They will be harder to hit, but they still do not understand what we are. They still think they can win. Show them they are wrong. 24 fighters launched into the black. They split into 4 groups, each group led by an experienced pilot. Yuna led Alpha Group into the thickest part of the enemy formation. The Krell opened fire. Thousands of projectiles filled space, a wall of death that should have been impossible to pass through. Yuna dove straight in. Her fighter twisted and rolled, moving in 3 dimensions at once. Her body pressed hard against the seat as the G-forces increased. Her vision narrowed at the edges. But she did not black out. Humans trained for this. Human bodies could handle forces that would kill most galactic species. She locked onto a Krell cruiser and fired. Her weapons burned through its shields and into its hull. The cruiser exploded. She was already moving to the next target. Behind her, the other pilots did the same. They moved like they were dancing, each one following their own rhythm but somehow in perfect coordination. The Krell could not predict their movements, could not track their speed, could not match their reflexes. In 5 minutes, 15 Krell ships were destroyed, but the Krell kept coming. They had learned to lead their shots, firing where the human fighters would be instead of where they were. Some shots came close. One fighter took a hit, shields flaring but holding. "They are adapting," Yuna reported to the Indomitable. "We need to change tactics." "Return to the debris field," Captain Hana ordered. "Use the environment." The fighters pulled back, leading the Krell into the maze of debris. Now the advantage shifted completely. The human pilots weaved between chunks of metal and rock, using them as cover and weapons. The Krell ships were larger, less maneuverable. They crashed into debris, damaging their own ships. Some fired on the debris and were hit by the ricocheting projectiles. Yuna accelerated toward a large piece of destroyed station. At the last second, she rolled and passed through a gap barely wider than her fighter. 5 Krell ships following her could not react in time. They crashed into the debris, exploding in silent fireballs. "This is too easy," she said, laughing. Meanwhile, the Indomitable engaged the main Krell fleet. Captain Hana commanded the ship with precision, using the debris as shields and weapons. The battlecruiser's main guns fired, each shot destroying or crippling a Krell ship. The Krell returned fire, but their projectiles were slow compared to human weapons. Hana saw them coming and moved the ship out of their path. "Target the cruisers first," she ordered. "Take out their command ships." The Indomitable's weapons spoke again. 3 Krell cruisers exploded in rapid succession. But then something changed. A massive Krell dreadnought emerged from the back of their fleet. It was twice the size of any other Krell ship, covered in armor and bristling with weapons. "New contact," the tactical officer reported. "Krell command ship. It is heading straight for us." Hana studied it. "That ship is too big to maneuver well in the debris field, but its weapons will hurt us if they hit." "We need to disable it," Wu said. "Hana, keep the Indomitable mobile. I will take a boarding team." "You want to board that ship?" "It is what I do best." Wu stood. "I need 12 soldiers. And 1 shuttle." Jin looked at his tactical officer. "This is dangerous even for you. So is fighting 300 ships with 1 battle cruiser. We all do dangerous things today." Wu headed for the hangar bay. 15 minutes later, a small shuttle launched from the Indomitable. It was fast and stealthy, designed to avoid detection. Wu sat in the passenger bay with 12 other soldiers. All veterans, all volunteers. "Remember the briefing," Wu said. "Krell are strong but slow. Their armor is tough but their joints are weak. Aim for the gaps. Move fast, stay together. We get in, disable their command center, and get out." The soldiers checked their weapons. They were calm, focused. Fear was there but controlled. This was what they trained for. The shuttle flew through the battle, dodging fire from both sides. The pilot was skilled, dancing through the chaos. They approached the dreadnought from below, where its sensors were weakest. 30 seconds to contact, the pilot announced. The shuttle attached to the dreadnought's hull. Wu activated a cutting torch, burning through the armor. It took 2 minutes to create a hole large enough to enter. "Go, go, go." The soldiers poured through the hole into a corridor. Immediately, Krell warriors appeared, firing their weapons. The corridor filled with projectiles, but the humans were faster. They had already taken cover, returning fire with precision. 3 Krell fell in the first exchange. The others retreated, making strange clicking sounds. "Calling for help. Move forward," Wu ordered. "Do not give them time to organize." They ran through the corridors, moving faster than the Krell expected. Human endurance meant they could sprint for minutes without tiring. Human reflexes meant they could react to threats before the Krell even saw them. They encountered resistance at every turn. Groups of Krell warriors tried to stop them. But in close quarters, humans were deadly. They moved like predators, efficient and ruthless. The Krell were warriors by culture. Humans were warriors by evolution. 10 minutes after boarding, Wu's team reached the command center. They breached the door with explosives and rushed inside. The Krell commander stood in the center, surrounded by its officers. It saw the humans and its mandibles clicked rapidly. "Impossible. 12 of you, against 3,000 on this ship. You should not have reached us." Wu aimed his weapon at the commander. "You do not understand humans. Numbers mean nothing to us. We are from a death world. We survived worse than you can imagine. Surrender your ship." The commander looked at Wu, at the humans' steady hands, at the cold determination in human eyes. It understood finally what the Veltharan had tried to tell them. These creatures were not like other species. They were different, dangerous in ways the Krell had never encountered. "You will not kill us?" the commander asked. "Not if you surrender. We are not here to destroy. We are here to protect the Veltharan. Stand down and you live." The commander thought for a moment. Then it clicked orders to its crew. The dreadnought's weapons went silent. Aboard the Indomitable, Hana saw the change immediately. The command ship has stopped firing. Wu did it. Without their flagship, the Krell fleet faltered. The other ships began retreating, confused and demoralized. They had come to destroy the Veltharan and crush the humans. Instead, they had lost a third of their fleet and their command ship. Jin opened a channel to the retreating Krell. "Leave this system. Do not return. If you do, we will be here." The Krell fleet jumped to faster than light speed and vanished. The battle was over. In the silence that followed, Yuna brought her fighter back to the Indomitable. She was exhausted. 3 days after the battle, the Veltharan Council called a meeting. Commander Jin stood in the council chamber with Ambassador Tay, surrounded by Veltharan leaders from across their worlds. The chamber was beautiful, designed to be peaceful and calming. But the conversation was anything but calm. Counselor Preeth spoke first. "You have saved us. You have driven away the Krell. You have shown us that safety is possible. Now we must discuss the future." Jin nodded. "What would you like to discuss? What happens next? Do you leave? Do you stay? What does Earth want from us?" Tay stepped forward. "We want nothing from you. We came because you asked for help. We helped because it was the right thing to do." Another counselor spoke, its skin turning orange with concern. "But you cannot simply leave. The Krell will return, or another aggressive species will find us. We are defenseless. We need protection. We are not trying to make you dependent on us," Jin said. "We are trying to help you survive. But we cannot fight like you. We cannot be warriors. It is not in our nature." The counselor looked sad. "We are peaceful. That is who we are. Changing that would destroy us," Preeth stood. "The council has discussed this for many hours. We have a proposal. We want to offer Earth a position in the Galactic Coalition. We want humanity to join the community of species." Jin and Tai exchanged looks. This was unexpected. "But there would be conditions," Preeth continued. "We do not want conquerors. We want protectors. We would ask that Earth takes responsibility for the security of coalition worlds. You would defend us. In return, we would share our knowledge, our technology, our resources. You would be partners, not rulers." "You want us to be your military?" Jin said. "We want you to do what you do best. Survive. Fight when necessary. Protect those who cannot protect themselves. We will do what we do best. Science, art, diplomacy, culture. Together we would be complete." Tay was quiet for a long moment. "This is a decision that must be made by Earth's government. We cannot agree to this alone. We understand. Take the proposal back to your world. Discuss it with your people. We will wait for your answer." The meeting ended. Jin and Tay returned to the Indomitable to send the message to Earth. The transmission would take hours to reach home. The response would take hours to return. They would have to wait. While they waited, life on the ship continued. Pilot Yuna sat in the pilot's lounge with other fighter pilots talking about the battle. They laughed and joked, but there was something underneath. "Attention. Do you think we did the right thing?" one pilot asked. Yuna looked at him. "What do you mean? We killed a lot of Krell. We are heroes to the Veltharan. But we took lives. A lot of lives." The room fell quiet. Yuna thought about it. She had destroyed over 30 ships herself. Each ship had a crew, dozens or hundreds of Krell warriors, all dead because of her. "The Krell came to destroy the Veltharan," she said finally. "They came to kill innocent people. We stopped them. That is what we did. We protected the weak from the strong. I can live with that. But they look at us like we are monsters. Some do, but not all." Yuna stood. "I was in the medical bay yesterday. I saw a Veltharan child who survived because we came. That child will grow up because we fought. That is what matters." Tactical Officer Wu had a different experience. He was training the Veltharan security forces again when one of them asked a question. "How do you do it? How do you kill without feeling?" Wu stopped the drill. "Who said we do not feel? But you are so calm, so efficient. Like death does not bother you. Death bothers me every time." Wu sat down, gesturing for the Veltharan to join him. "I have killed to protect others. I have killed to survive. Each time I carry it with me. The weight of it. The memory. That is part of being human. We can do terrible things when we must, but we remember them. We feel them. We live with them. Then how do you keep going? Because someone must. Because if people like me do not stand between danger and innocence, then innocent people die. I would rather carry the weight of what I have done than live knowing I could have helped and did not." The Veltharan was quiet. "You are braver than I thought. Not because you fight, but because you choose to carry that burden." Medical specialist Rena spent her time in the Veltharan medical bay. She had been working with Dr. Solith for 3 days now, treating the wounded from the battle. The work was exhausting but satisfying. "You should rest," Solith told her. "You have not stopped working for 12 hours. I am fine. There are still patients who need care. Rena, you are exhausted. I can see it. Please rest. We can manage for a few hours. Rena looked at the gentle alien doctor. Solith was right. She was tired, but more than that, she was afraid to stop. Afraid that if she stopped helping, she would have to think about everything that had happened. On Earth, we have a saying, Rena said quietly. Keep moving forward. If you stop, you fall. But Rena, sometimes stopping is how you heal. Rena smiled sadly. I will rest when everyone is safe. Solith touched Rena's arm gently. You cannot save everyone. No one can, not even humans from a death world. You have done so much. You have saved so many. Please let that be enough for today. Rena felt tears in her eyes. She had been holding everything in for so long. The fear, the stress, the weight of responsibility. Solith's kindness broke through her walls. I will rest, she said. Thank you. 30 hours after sending the message, the response from Earth arrived. Commander Jin and Ambassador Tay stood on the bridge as Captain Hana played the transmission. The President of United Earth appeared on the screen. She looked tired but determined. Commander Jin, Ambassador Tay, we have reviewed the Veltherin proposal. We have debated it in the Council. We have asked our people for their opinions. This is a decision that will change humanity's future forever. She paused. We accept. Earth will join the Galactic Coalition as protectors and partners. We will defend Coalition worlds. We will stand between danger and innocence. But we will do it our way. With honor. With compassion. With the knowledge that strength without kindness is just brutality. Humanity has always been survivors. Now we have the chance to be more. To be heroes. Not because we are strong, but because we choose to use that strength to help others. Go tell the Veltherin that Earth says yes. The transmission ended. Jin looked at Tay. We are really doing this. We are joining the galaxy. We are, and the galaxy will never be the same. They brought the answer to the Veltherin Council. Praith cried again, but this time from joy. The other counselors celebrated in their quiet way, their skin shifting through colors of happiness and relief. Thank you, Praith said. Thank you for choosing to help us instead of harm us. Thank you for being the heroes we hoped you would be. The days that followed were busy. Treaties were signed. Plans were made. Human ships would deploy across Coalition space, defending peaceful worlds from threats. In return, the Veltherian and other species would share their technology and knowledge. Humanity would learn about the galaxy. The galaxy would learn about Earth. It was not perfect. There were still fears, still misunderstandings. The Veltherans still jumped when humans walked too heavily or spoke too loudly. Humans still struggled with the delicate nature of their new friends, but they were trying, both sides, learning to live together, to understand each other. 5 years later, Ambassador Tay walked through the halls of the new Coalition headquarters on the Veltherin homeworld. The building was a compromise between human and Veltherin design. Stronger gravity than Veltherin preferred, but lighter than Earth normal. Brighter lights. Wider corridors. Humans and Veltherin worked side by side, along with dozens of other species that had joined the Coalition. Security officers, diplomats, scientists, engineers, all working together. Tay stopped at a memorial wall. Names were carved into it. Humans who had died protecting Coalition worlds over the past 5 years. There had been other threats. Other battles. Not all humans came home. At the top of the wall was a plaque. Tay read it again, even though he had read it hundreds of times. In memory of those who stood between darkness and light, who chose to protect instead of conquer, who showed us that strength and kindness are not opposites. They are partners. These humans from the death world called Earth came when we called. They answered when we needed them. They were not weapons. They were heroes. And the galaxy is better because they were here. Tay smiled. It had been a long journey. From that first distress signal to this moment, humanity had changed the galaxy. But the galaxy had also changed humanity. They had learned that being strong did not mean being cruel. That being dangerous did not mean being evil. That survival and compassion could exist together. Pilot Yuna was now a flight instructor, teaching young humans and aliens to fly together. Tactical Officer Wu led Coalition security forces, training defenders across multiple worlds. Medical Specialist Rena ran a medical exchange program, sharing human and alien healing techniques. Commander Jin had retired and returned to Earth, but his legacy remained. The Indomitable still flew, protecting Coalition space. Captain Hana commanded it now, leading a crew of multiple species. The Krell Dominion had not returned. Word had spread about the humans from Earth, about the Deathworlders who had destroyed an entire fleet, about the species that could not be intimidated, could not be broken, could not be stopped when they chose to fight. But the galaxy also learned something.